One of the tasks that we have as Bible students in the 21st century is to translate Bible images into ideas that are meaningful in our time, in our daily walk with the Lord. Today I want us to look at the symbolism of two words, shepherd and sheep. Who knows anything about shepherding today? We might watch a documentary on TV about sheepdog trials, or we might see a shepherd depicted in a movie. But by and large, it is a profession that we know nothing about. Now, maybe some of you remember it on the farm, but most of us don't. We need to use our imagination to take hold of the meaning of these words. Now, you know I have preached on this subject before. I've talked about that familiar shepherd in the 23rd Psalm, who is our God. In Psalm 80, God is referred to as the shepherd of Israel. Then, of course, there's that familiar text in Isaiah about the coming of the Messiah. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. Another phrase that occurs several times in the Old Testament describes sheep that have no shepherd. They are afflicted. They are wandering with no one to lead them or to protect them. This phrase is also carried into the New Testament. In Mark, there is the story of Jesus getting out of the boat, and he's confronted with a great multitude. It says, he felt compassion for them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. Now, in the Gospel of John, this symbol is most useful. It is in this book, you see, that Jesus says in chapter 10, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and is not a shepherd, who is not the owner of the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he is a hired hand and is not concerned about the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know my own, and my own know me, even as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep which are not of this fold. I must bring them also, and they will hear my voice, and they will become one flock with one shepherd. So I've given you a brief review of the symbolism of the shepherd, but this week I was moved to reflect on another text. I'm going now to the end of John, and I'm going to read this remarkable story about the ordination of Peter. Jesus is now the risen Lord and has appeared to the disciples. And then it seems one evening some of the disciples went fishing all night, and they caught nothing. When daybreak comes, they see a man on the shore with a fire going. He asks them the embarrassing question about their catch, and then he tells them to throw the nets again, and they catch 153 fish. Now, when they finally get to shore, they find a breakfast of fish and bread is waiting for them, and they knew it was the Lord. So let me read this story. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? He said to him, Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to him, Tend my lambs. He said to him again a second time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Shepherd my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was grieved because he said to him the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." And Jesus said to him, "Tend my sheep." Now, this is a familiar story to most of you. Most sermons about this story concentrate on the two verbs that are used for the word love. We also believe, of course, that Jesus is asking the question 3 times because Peter had denied him 3 times before the crucifixion. Jesus is putting Peter through a process of gracious forgiveness and is giving him a chance to affirm his love 3 times.